spring. Practice 14 tomorrow, helmets only, as we prepare for the spring game on Saturday. And it looks like it's going to be great weather. We hope to get a great turnout and give fans a glimpse of what the 2019 Scarlet Knights are going to look like. We feel really good about how we've progressed here during spring. We've missed some players here down the stretch to minor bumps and bruises and things like that, but we've got a lot of reps in, a lot of guys have improved because of it. So with that, I'll go ahead and open up for questions.
The format of the game, is it going to be real football?
It's always real football when you come out here. So yeah, it'll be real football. We're going to put our helmets on and pads on and get the balls out and play a little bit.
But is there going to be anything quirky, anything different? I know you like to kind of
I won't give away
wrinkles in.
I won't give away any secrets. We're not too creative around here. We're just trying to get better and focus on getting another good day's work in on Saturday, and see guys go out and perform and do their job here in front of some people in the stands, and we'll get some situational work in too. But it's going to be a good work day.
Thud or tackle to the ground?
No, it'll be both. Both.
Chris, what's different about the Scarlet White game than the rest of the practices, scrimmages that you have?
Well, it's a game, and we want our players to prepare like it's a game. We want to see them that day show up with the same type of focus that they would on game day. I want to see them go through pregame with that type of focus, and then being able to come out and execute their job with some people in the stands, just like they would on a game. So it's different than a normal practice. The effort and everything is going to be the same. We want to practice hard every single time we come out here, but it's being able to do their job with people in the stands. That's really what's different.
How do you feel about the depth of this team right now, this roster? One thing to have, starters that you're confident in, but how do you feel about the depth?
In some positions, great. Just about like every team in America right now, you never have enough, especially in the spring. But some positions I feel really good about. Some we still have to develop some depth. We have some guys that will still be here in the summer that may have a chance to contribute to some of that depth. But I think at some positions we have a lot more depth than what we've had in the past.
Does spring practice ever help you figure out who the starters are, or is that more the summer?
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's some guys that really have a really good spring. They probably have played in the past, played well in the past. They have good springs, and you know pretty much that they're locked in. But there are other jobs that take all the way through summer and training camp before you decide. But we're going to have some positions settled here at the end of spring.
In terms of the receivers, Paul Woods, Davon Robinson, they seem like they're coming along in the spring. What kind of springs have they had?
They've had good springs, but I think the last time we talked, I mentioned at that position specifically, we're really looking for that individual or individuals to step up and be go-to guys every day and be consistent every single day. That's what we talked about here at the end of practice. For us to really improve, we need guys to come out here and practice like a pro, and that means they're focused and serious about their improvement and executing their job and making plays every day. If I had one critique of that group, that's probably would be it. That nobody's really risen to the top to be that go-to guy every day.
Chris, can you name 2 or 3 position players or specific things that you're looking for out of the team, whether it's a specific situation, that kind of thing that you're looking for in the spring game? 2 or 3 keys?
Yeah, really, it's just about executing regardless of the situation. I mean, there's going to be times we're going to put the ball on the minus 25-yard line, just like you would start a game, if the ball was a touchback, and we got to go execute and do our job. There's going to be times we're going to get down in the red zone, and we expect to get touchdowns down in the red zone out of our offense, try to get takeaways defensively. So it's just about executing regardless of where we're at and what we're doing, and doing it with the maximum effort. That's what we want to see.
You've stood here the last 3 years talking about the different offensive coordinators that you've had, the lack of being able to have the same guy. How much of a difference has it been to have John McNulty here, second straight year, same offense team? I know you're doing some different things, but how key is it having the same offensive coordinator?
Well, I think it's critical, really is. And like you mentioned, we're not the same offense that we were last year, and I think that's the biggest probably benefit of having the same offensive coordinator back, is he knows the players, he knows their strengths, knows their weaknesses, and we're not just going to run a system just to run a system. We're going to do what we feel our players can execute and what they fit into and play to their strengths, and I think having the same offensive coordinator, that definitely helps. So we've made adjustments to our offensive scheme overall to fit the needs of our players, or I should say the strengths of our players.
How do you assess your offensive line? I know you've had a lot of things there, guys in and out?
Yeah, I mean, right now we got some guys out with minor things, nothing serious. We'll keep some of them out for the spring game too. But when they were all there and healthy, I thought our offensive line was playing as good as they have since we've been here.
How have they responded to the new coach?
Well, pretty good, based on what I thought was a pretty good performance when they were all there. And again, with some injuries, it doesn't look quite the same as it did in the first half of spring. But we get all those guys together. Some of them have played quite a bit. Some of them are going to be new starters. But I think the new techniques and some of the things that we've done differently offensively has really helped our offensive line. And again, I'm really pleased with the progress that they've made. And at one point, I thought for sure they were playing as good as they have since we've been here.
We don't talk about it a lot, but having the same holder, having the same long snapper, having the same place kickers, is that one less thing that you have to worry about, like going into practice or even going to the offseason?
Well, I don't know if I would say not worry about, but having those guys return that have played on game day and played well on game day definitely brings a little bit of a comfort level to that phase of the game. Our specialists, I think, are good. Billy's done a great job. Justin and then Adam all played well last year, and they've done a good job here this spring trying to build on that and get better.
Take two more.
Are you going to have a hand in the defense as much as the end of last year, or does Coach Pooh, is that his now?
Well, I'm going to always be involved to a certain extent. I'm not going to be the defensive coordinator. I want to be the head coach and oversee all phases and really work on culture and helping work developing players. But I'm always going to be involved defensively. That's what I feel like my strong suit is, and I can add the most benefit as a coach. And Andy was really hired so I could do that. And that's the way it's gone here so far this spring.
Are you a believer that for a spring game for young players, it's important to see them out in front of a crowd for the first time? Do you think that's something you weigh or pay attention to, or maybe it's a little bit overflow?
No, I think it's very important. You've been doing this for a while, gone through a lot of spring games, and you can see guys that go through practice well and then they get out into the stadium with fans for the first time, and it's different. And we've got a lot of guys that are first-time players that'll go through the spring game, whether they were early enrollees or they weren't here last spring, so it's going to be their first time because they maybe didn't play last fall. And anxious to see those guys get out here and try to perform on game day here on Saturday. But I think it is a big deal. It's a huge evaluation opportunity.
$100 million fundraising milestone. I know you were a part of it. Two-part question on it. One, when Pat first announced it, were you kind of like, wow, that's a challenge. Good luck with that. Or two, talk about just being able to get over that and what it means to your program overall.
When that was first discussed a few years ago. Yeah, it's a big challenge. It's a big task to try to go out and raise that type of money, but it was needed. For us to move the athletic department, our football program, and all sports forward, that money was needed to try to improve the facilities and improve the experience and our ability to develop our student athletes. And I was approached about trying to help out, and I want to help our student athletes, not only our football players, but everyone in the athletic department. So we're all in, all on board, and anything we can do to help improve the experience, improve the facilities, and help all sports move forward, that's what we're about.
Chris, as the spring is ending, do you get the sense that you're better than last year? You see improvement?
Oh, I can't say we're better than anything yet until we go play a game. I do like our team a lot. I've said that several times. I really like the culture that we have right now. But to say that we're better as a team right now, I'm going to hold off making any predictions or judgments until we actually go play games.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, guys.